it's original. All right. My palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Apologies for quoting shady, but that's how I feel when I recite poetry. And my joints might be heavy from carrying a belly weight. As you can see, I carry plenty. Public speaking gives me anxiety, and that's why I feel so much envy when I see someone express so eloquently. Because I know I got better bars than Lil Uzi Vert, but I struggle to externalize my inner introvert. And my politics may be liberal, but my soul is conservative. You see, I collect my thoughts, prefer to keep them in. And even at work presentations, I can't stop stuttering, and I have to raise my voice so I'm no longer just muttering, so I can be heard more than just a smattering. My God, it's so fucking frustrating. Because one-on-one, I think I'm alright, but talk to a whole crowd and it's more fight or flight. And even right now, I prefer to read from my phone so I can pretend that I'm all alone. Because when your thoughts are encaged, it's easy to become enraged. You talk and people become disengaged. So one day decide to get on a stage and say something that people can actually relate to. And right now, I feel emancipated. Right now, I feel elated. Because I can talk to a whole crowd, I'm pretending there's a whole crowd here. I no longer feel deflated. See, I'm talking to you. See, this was me listening to poetry for the last 5 years that sometimes brought me to tears, sometimes made me laugh, but always left me in despair. If I had something to say, would people even want to hear? You see, I still hate public speaking, but for you, tonight, I'm confronting my biggest fear. Thank you.
Culture clash growing up, knowing I was different. Split between two cliques, hyperlinked to a widget. Anthony Soprano asking, what constitutes a fidget? A shattered smartphone irrevocably disfigured one of my digits. Growing up wound tightly, I was 11, sat by my hi-fi nightly, in my nightly, taping tracks from the radio straight to a C90. Cassette tapes we would cop on the cop for a $5 and shot on the high street. These days we hop online and search type beat. Still at holler for collabs trying to outright me. Trusted to oblige when I ask politely. Or my great-grand-cousins weighed by the far play and follow inner vision, or you're dreaming in vain. I spill my soul, my shame, my goals, my pain. Pray it's not shoved in a drawer, never to be streamed again. The game may reset. Nostalgia's a bittersweet stain of regret. Life is a test, gotta be the best. A tribe called next, this tribe's been blessed. When they lay me to rest, the game may reset. Nostalgia's a bittersweet stain of regret. Life is a test, gotta be the best. A memoir pressed, straight to cassette. Thank you. So yeah, I wrote this other one when I was feeling pretty down about myself. It's called Short Selling. Selling myself short a long time. Selling myself like I don't mind. I censor myself, bro. Trying to cope, find I don't. I've been selling myself short the whole time. Selling myself short a long time. Selling myself like I don't mind. I censor myself, bro. Trying to cope, find I don't. I've been selling myself short the whole time. I really wanted it all, man. Aim high, I'm not a tall man, not at all, man. Channel Chaucer. Find flaws in the floor plan. I was the one to open doors, so they treat me like a doormat.
I say that again, brother. What? That was tasty.
I really wanted it all, man. Aim high, I'm not a tall man, not at all, man. Channel Chaucer. Find flaws in the floor plan. I was the one to open doors, so they treat me like a doormat. Thought I was playing the long game. Drew the short straw, painted in octane. Dim-wit short change, paraffin blue flame within the pit of my stomach. This chrysalis is ablaze. Stardust the easel, still it's within reach. From the embers you seek, be the reason we breathe. So may your boldness overthrow the shyness and neeks. Weeding out the weaselly or rise of the meek. Gotta see to believe, are you just here to be seen? A state of lucid luminosity, remember your dreams. Not a pantomime mime dragon when we're trying to climb. Those that when it comes time, they don't remember to speak. Selling myself short a long time. Selling myself like I don't mind. I said to myself, bro, trying to cope, find I don't. I was selling myself short the whole time. Selling myself short a long time. Selling myself like I don't mind. I said to myself, bro, trying to cope, find I don't. I was selling myself short the whole time. Thank you.
My boy, with eyes so bright and bold like pools of shining gold. They sparkle with a light so rare, a sight that takes us everywhere. With just a glance, they seem to say so much that words cannot convey, of hopes, dreams, and mysteries untold that lie within those eyes of gold. And when he looks, the world is bright, and everything takes on new light, as if his gaze has magic in its hold, and all the darkness turns to gold. So here's to my black-haired boy, with eyes so bold, that light up my world with their shining gold. And a boy so full of wonder and surprise, who brings joy to all with his big, beautiful eyes.
What if I tell you I tried? I tried hard. I tried and failed again. But failing wasn't the worst part. The worst part was when you dragged me to the gate of abyss. When you stepped in, you seemed like no other. I was allured, and I was allured that you spread like a carbon sheet before my eye. I got blind. I kept pouring. I kept pouring and pouring in an empty, baseless charcoal abyss. Nothing radiated back, except self-doubt, self-policing, and self-destruction. The love you promised was never delivered. I kept finding it in your gaslighting. I kept finding the validation in your baseless conversation, in your shaming, and in your coldness. So when I finally decide to walk away, I can say to your face that I tried. I tried and failed again. Failed to keep myself happy around you, because you kept growing like fungus in me. And I let you choke me till the death of my own happiness. I quickly want to do like another one. Let's see how that goes.
Do another one. You got time.
And if you guys are fine with it, I really want to do one in my own native language, Hindi.
Yeah,
I don't
why
like
not?
many of you won't understand it. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Nice. So let's do the Hindi one first. So it goes like कि ऐसे समय पर आए हो कि तुम्हें बोल भी नहीं सकती 2 मिनट रुक जाओ अभी ऐसे समय पर आए हो कि तुम्हें बोल भी नहीं सकती 2 मिनट रुक जाओ अभी क्योंकि पता है अपने जज्बात संभाल नहीं पाऊंगी अपने आप को बिना पर्दे के दिखा दूंगी जैसी हूँ बस वैसी बताऊंगी तुमसे पहले भी कई मिले थे जिन्होंने साफ को गंदा और गंदे को साफ कहा था पर वो ज्यादा कुछ समझ नहीं पाते तुमसे मिलके भी ऐसा लगा कि कहीं तुम भी साफ को गंदा और गंदे को साफ न कर दो अभी बिखरा हुआ उठा ही रही थी कि सफर में तुम मिल गए और फिर मजा आने लगा पर कहीं लगा कि अगर तुम्हें भी रोक लिया तो तुम भी मुझ साफ को कहीं गंदा ना करके चले I forgot a bit of it. Can do I give him the permission. I hope I don't bore you though. No, I'm going to do like a English one. I don't remember the Hindi one. This too nervous. I didn't think about it. Okay. So it goes like, find self-love. Love yourself. Easier said than done, right? Being there for yourself, taking yourself out on dates, but nobody tells you how to. Nobody tells you how terrifying it can be to take small, simple decisions. Nobody tells you how to address it. And 2 negatives don't add positive to this world. All you get in this timeline is a deep fall. No lifeboat. You're already drowning, the light is too far, you're draining on energy like a current holding you back. Like a swim without a life jacket, and all the things gone wrong. Your mind screams, your body is numb, your brain is dead. Let me declare it my current fate. Emotional numbness, that's the status. Facebook, tell your UI team to book a HR meeting with me. I got a new drop-down idea to pitch. Tell them to add emotional status as a feature. Along with the options, happy, alive, surviving, and numb. Like an overcooked egg, dead but there. Abort before it kills you. Comfort zone disagrees. The war begins again, back to square one, falling again. Like a torturous Black Mirror episode, punishment on mental loop, dead but reliving the horror again and again and again until you explode. Poof, gone. Like the ghost mode on Instagram, like it never happened. Gone. You? Who? Do I know you? I don't think so. You? Who?
There is a part within the sky that shines its rays upon smiling clouds. There are droplets of still water deep within raging oceans, seas which say so much. There is a deafening silence within some minds as the world around is ever more loud than they are. There are times fast in feeling but slow in pace. There are even moments similar but no two are quite the same. In this world of words, some things are far from the imagination, but so close to reality that they stand parallel. In place where the language of the heart is the instrument of communication, vulnerability is seen as a shield of honor, alongside a sharp mind equipped with quick wit, an array of words, the innermost parts of what self is. Thoughtful to think that we all experience life in our own way, in our own manner, made in a means to an ends, meeting seamlessly to form new beginnings. So I say, may we all find peace, love, and understanding as these emotions shape what life is from the perspective I've come to understand it. I hope you find joy in who you are, not just what you do, and find pleasure in more than the excess, finding the calm in the eye of the storm. For you are all the possibilities you can imagine yet to be lived. You just have to believe that it can exist and act in accordance to strive towards it in the most honest, sincere way. That's the difference between when you say, I'll start it tomorrow, and I'll do it today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And the last piece, like I said, is called In All of It. Sometimes you can get stuck and lost in all of it. In pain, we find peace. And in pleasure, we find release. With hard times come ease. Same words on repeat. In pain, we find peace. And in pleasure, we find release. With hard times come ease. Same words on repeat. So there is no need to be passive. When the trail paves its own atlas, it then becomes a map to the path attracted. A balance for the fraction that broke parts into fragments as each action holds a reaction. So, within my mind is a place, and within my heart is a pain that flows through its ways, and of course it lingers as it stays, circumventing the navigation my brain tries to take as receptors overstimulate. Simply said, the things that weigh heavy on my heart play heavy on my head. Is there enough time to make more of this thing called life? Is there a chance I can fulfill my why, to give in ways that give meaning to life? For in pain, we find peace. And in pleasure, we find release. With hard times come ease. Same words on repeat. I said, in pain, we find peace. And in pleasure, we find release. With hard times come ease. Same words on repeat. Have a lovely evening.
I'm not always 100, but would you still love me? The things you thought you would never see. Would you still love me? Some days I just sit back and I watch, have conversations with all my thoughts. Don't you worry about me, but would you still love me? It's those times alone and all the walking home in the silence of these streets. I think about all the scenes that we lived, the way that I smile when we meet. If you saw behind closed doors, if you saw, would you wait for me? Would you wait for me? Every day I would wait for you. Every day I would wait. I'm not trying to run 100 miles. It's been so fast-paced for such a while. So breathe and look up to the stars. There's so many reasons to keep looking up, but would you wait for me? Would you wait for me? Every day I would wait for you. Every day, would you wait for me? Wait for me. Every day I would wait for you. Every day I would wait. I'm not always 100. Would you still love me? The things you thought I could never see. Would you still love me? Thank you.
This is called Attention.
Boss. Hey.
That was a bar.
So, what are we doing? Where are we going? Always wanting to be in the know, but then never really knowing. The real reason or purpose why we are here, maybe it's fear. Always wanting to be heard, but then do we ever really hear? The things that truly matter. Why do we turn such a blind eye? We're feeling for those without sight, yet choose to blur our own vision with the television and all the screens and the magazines, full of opinions and gossip, dividing us all without even realizing. Because we feel so connected now. Everything's online. That information has been shared 1,000,000 times, so it must be fine. Getting into deep discussions about other people's lives, who is right and who is wrong. What do I look like, so where do I belong? Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't we all belong here, on this place called Earth? Why do we fight to be from such different worlds when we all share the same place of birth? So, then what is going on? What are we doing when we could all see the same horizon? Why is it just a small picture we are viewing? Maybe I'm naive to think that others may see it the same as me. Maybe I'm an idealist, believing that at the end of the day, we're all just the same. We just got sucked into this game of hatred and pain, division and blame, buying into a lie, which if we question, they might call us insane. It's such a shame. I am sorry, I cannot change my appearance and what you see, and therefore what you might think of me. But if we are different, I will try to understand. And if you let me, I will hold your hand human to human, if we can. See beyond the bodies in which we spend our time on earth, then maybe we will realise our worth. Am I the only one that thinks that, as a matter of fact, humankind has created the biggest division over that of which we do not even have any control? Nobody chose their gender, their race, their colour, their face, religion or place of birth before they were born, so for all of these things, why are we so torn? These are some of the things that we never even decided, yet because of them we now stand so divided and have created problems so traumatic and intense. To me it just doesn't make sense. I dream of a world where the focus has shifted, realising we are all so gifted, using our powers of kindness and love to raise the vibration, seeing someone different as an invitation to learn, and not as a threat. That the real threat has nothing to do with our physical. It's how we choose to exercise our views. It's when we choose to be part of something so small, when we could just open our eyes and be part of something so wonderful. Thank you.
This is a new piece that I wrote last week, and it is called Made Beyond Endurance. A nation's psyche, knocked about, bruised, the surface covered in fissures, budget in deficit, antiseptic in short supply. Nations rise, nations fall, nation states made redundant. Tech giants, modern day feudalists, extracting ground rents, scalping the public, wealth concentrating in fewer hands, hoarding, digital and physical vaults guarded, hearts guarded, playing an infinite game, submitting to false idols. Religions fail, regardless of the window dressing. Read. Think critically. Question. Speed away from confirmation bias in reverse gear. Pull up handbrake, reorient, and choose your Qibla. Grow in wisdom. Take bold risks. Our hearts are built to withstand this winter. There is a life beyond endurance. Thank you.
Destruction. How to destroy yourself. Don't get enough love when you're a child. Compensate that till you're in your 20s. Be good in that. Be flexible in that. Change course if things don't do their work. Find better things to compensate. Then find out things doesn't work. In any case, see that you already went in every possible direction. Find out that now you're stuck. Check again. Be sure of your miserable situation. Fight against it. Fight. Fight better. Find better ways of how not to reveal your love, lacking childhood soul. Find out that's not possible. Cry. Cry better. Cry as much as you can. Panic. Panic better. Panic as much as you can. No, don't. We still need you alive. Breathe. But panic. Now you know. Then accept that you did not get enough love as a child. Thank your parents.
ask for an excuse. Realize they will never apologize. They will just take your wounds with both hands, tear it apart, open you up, have a look inside and say, oh no, I couldn't find anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Feel the pain. Cry, panic, do both at the same time. Then lie down on the bathroom floor. Smell the sticky air of the heater against your cheek. Realize you will never get the love you were searching for. You are just compensating and thinking that you have somehow a chance to get the love you were searching for. Realize you failed. Thank you for fighting in a ring with a fighter who will always win. He will win when you call your ex at midnight to restart your love story. He will win when you call your parents to restart your childhood. He will win when you try to sleep, breathe, leave, begin a new life without this senseless repeating, leeching play. But have in mind the version of you not depending on this other fighter in the ring, by leaving the leg in the middle of your body empty and stopping to fill it with any reasonable, suitable thing. Look at your hole. Have a slight glance through it. Realize how empty you actually are. How clueless parents actually are. And just be sad and cry again. And if you really want to, you can still panic, but if you want to, you can also just be sad and cry again, and cry, and cry, and cry, and stop if you want to, and carry on if you need to, and go into the woods and scream if you have to, and bite in your pillow if you would like to, and fall asleep with tears in your eyes if you get to, and dream about mom or dad saying, I love you, for that first time, and wake up crying. Then give yourself a hug. You can also give yourself a kiss on the shoulder. Even though it might feel strange in the beginning. Then cry again and thank you again for stop fighting in a ring with a fighter who will always win. And choose yourself another fighter from all the ones who will come along. Choose wisely now. Maybe for this time, choose a fighter who's a bit less strong. Thank you.
I can hear the Vikings singing my DNA. As for the words I spray on all these writers won't be DOA, and yet my artistic goal is just to spray paint the 16 chapel on their hair full of
Start again. Wheel it back. Take it from the back.
I need to take a seat. Thank you.
I can hear the Vikings singing my DNA. As for these words I spray on all these writers won't be DOA, and yet my artistic goal is just to spray paint the 16 chapel on their hair full of pretty much do the impossible. Be them mythological, historical, diabolical sod. The wretched long forgotten second son of God, I wasn't spared the rod, but made me care to rock. I'm meant for that messy, so prepare for a lot. Cause I can do rainbow flicks on linguistics, sit lit in the Honda Civic, hacking into my Korean ballistics, force the British Museum to exhibit the illicit Michelangelo's David. And wrote me on a podium, butt naked. Doing a windmill, half faded and fade, jumping a wormhole as my parallel universe
a waste. But before I leave, give me reparations and reimburse my mistakes. Because otherwise I'm gonna get straight up Joe Pesci. I run a casino and I get stressy with a dildo grown from Sense Bro, so don't even try to test me. I think this is why the vicar of Dibley doesn't even love me. Because my Westminster's Abbey's big enough to fit my head. I jump in a car with Sonny Corleone instead, 10 empty clips later, how's my ego not dead with a head full of lead? I am my own judge, dread. Officer, jury, and executioner. The elusive spawn of Lucifer, upon the chains that bound me. Ignore my bounty, whack my calorie, no here to crowd, please find me in the Maldives with some Saudi money. I'm going from rhymes to riches, so divert your eyes, honey. Cause hi, my name is George, I slay that dragon. Jump in the bandwagon. Jamming with a saint, headed straight into the Vatican for the holy water the tank. I wink out the Rolling Stones when I deliver them black paint. Cause poets are back projecting phony prophecies. Presidents are back in fake news of absence potency. And this is real life, not God. So don't press X when you're in my scope. I use a crap pipe just to poke the poke. Gaze attention on the travesties. Shape shift my alchemy. I'll throw you in a cold mine, call you canary, so you suffocate and die when you get Larry. I read my Angelo, so I know why the cage bird sings. And I still shudder when I hear them church bells ring. Because I'm the autonomous split atom with the anatomy of bedlam, born to an exorcist in Mary Shelley's bedroom. Thank you. I just want to get on the stage, just be like, yeah, this is my lyrics and shit, man. But yeah, but firstly, I just want to say, like, thank you so much for coming, and big up to Abdullah as well, man. I feel like this is an unsung moment as well. I mean, when did I meet you? I met you at Rise Up, innit?
Story time. This is like 2017.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like it's still Rise Up as well, but it's like Wolseley Green at a coffee shop that was like this big. Bruv.
And it's the King's Cross?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. Honestly, to this day.
It was in the basement, wasn't it?
It was in the basement. No, that was the one in King's Cross. The one in Wolseley Green, that was a coffee shop. But either way, one of those two, and since then George has been a brother. And that's what happens when you come to poetry shows. You come along, you leave being friends with someone. At least one person.
Nah, that's facts. I remember, so Abdullah used to go to this night quite often, and he never used to perform. He just used to observe it. It took him a couple of years before he actually got to perform it. And when he actually finally performed, I was just like, no wonder why they call me soft-spoken, man. Got mad bars. And then this guy literally decided to run this night, which is a juggernaut of a night. So can we give a round of applause to Abdullah? So yeah, hi, I'm George, I'm a poet, I'm a filmmaker. I run a night called Word of Mouth as well. I'm gonna do a political piece for you right now, so another story time. I used to wonder why I used to write so many political pieces until a couple of years ago I was introduced to my Irish family for the first time, and some of them are activists, they're university lecturers. And it was mad because I was just like, went to their house and I realized they had all the same books as me. They were Marxists, they believe in the aspect of like socialism. So for this poem is called Irate because we live in a political climate at the moment which I think in every single country in the world, you know, we feel this sense of anger in terms of the fascist governments that we've got. So I read the news and then I wrote this piece. It's called Irate. I'm barely breaking the bread line in post-Brexit broken Britain. All I see is these food lines and limited provisions. We clap for nurses and essential workers, but when we give them a decision, we either fired them or paid them pittance. And youngers and dies because of all the procurement checks that are legally logged and written. They say good riddance to bad rubbish and let the bodies pile up high. Good riddance to bad rubbish and let the bodies pile up high in their thousands. Because we need to rally a chorus. Drop red blood to summon Horus as the blue bloods try to destroy us. Deploy us. On an envoy towards the wars in Troy as they address the nation through a tannoy. Through the safe haven of the South Boy. Beaming through the speakers, oi oi, Savaloy. Keep calm and carry on. It's the words of our leaders while they weed out the vagabonds, speak out the reapers with the grim expression of an immigrant on the front pages so we can keep raising racist tensions. But they neglect to mention that social mobility doesn't happen anymore. Austerity, yeah, that was a sanction on the poor. It's been well over 7 years. You really think we're equipped to have any sense of racial equality being here when we still have Nazis flanking us from our rear? Are you not feeling the fatigue of their blitzkrieg? Here to demote our morality to the Confederate League and put us 1,001 leagues under the sea until we're captured by Nemo's great fucking empire burns. They'll be the back of Downing Street, sipping some wine, playing a pipe like Emperor Nero whilst they keep this fear like Robert De Niro. Because sometimes I want this country to be the new Atlantis. For its cadaver to be thrown in the bomb pits, for a necrophiliac to fuck it. For a taxidermist to stuff him, and by all means decapitate his head and make a plaque of it. So he can be gifted to the big game house of corporations. And backroom discussion to dismantle unions, and we're forced to salute the Union Jack. But we're gonna have jack shit of union when the NHS collapse and be disease ridden. Full crime forbidden. Checking whether Frankenstein's monsters living in our linen and you gave him the surname Bin Laden. Because when it comes down to survival versus self-preservation, give racism a pardon. You go to the fake shamans wearing silk garments because this whole world has a fetish for anal. This is why we worship asses and assholes.
Say that again. That was rude. Say that again. That was rude.
Because this whole world has a fetish for anal. This is why we worship asses and assholes. And I'll be Shrek and I'll say, calm down, donkey. But we're not the generation of low key, are we? This is just our vibe. Having to flash a fucking camera to prove that we're alive. This is why I'm irate. As I do not rate the modern day embodiment of this fascist caliphate, blind leading the blind for them to shoot on sight any single man or woman or child that has a dark complexion of mine. And we claim to live in a democracy. When rich people can ask, how much do I need to pay to make this law legal, whilst for poor people, prison is free? I think Camus is having a hard on with this sincerity, and it's not the rigor mortis I'm talking about. And we wonder why Baccarat happens. When we had Donald Trump rallying the Ku Klux Klan, when the British and American government had their hand in the revolution of Iraq and Iran, and they ran to our disenfranchisement. And when they get here, our media just chastise them. Because sometimes I feel like this government is holding us captive. But as I look around, it doesn't seem like anyone has Stockholm Syndrome. We must enjoy the fact that we have limited rights granted but more rights taken away, so we have to bargain for our freedom. This is why I'm irate. As I do not rate the modern day embodiment of this fascist caliphate, blind leading the blind for them to shoot on sight any single man or woman or child that has a dark complexion of mine. Thank you. I'm just going to be about to, how are we doing in this room right now? How are we doing in this room right now? Perfect. So I'm going to lift up the mood a little bit. So like, I'm in love. Yeah. And I think love is like, despite politics, despite anything else, one of the most lovely emotions that you can get. And my girlfriend hates it when I perform this poem, just like and you'll realize why. Basically, I met her in a supermarket. And I know you're thinking, he's like, bro, he's got a time machine, he went back to the 50s, that's mad. And afterwards, like, I think love is an interesting thing because you can fall in love with a lot of people, like a lot of different people, but you fall in love with 3 different aspects of something. You can fall in love with the past of them, the present, and their potential as well. But more importantly, you fall in love with the goofiness. The weird shit that only you know. I remember I wrote this piece, this was literally a free write. I remember she was sleeping at mine and she makes this incredibly endurable sound, which is like, let me get this right, so like, I know a lot of people feel exposed right now, so. And then she goes into a deep sleep. And as soon as she did this, because I'm up late writing, and I was just like, oh, fucking hell, I love you. So I ended up writing this piece. This is called When. It's funny when you're not looking for gold and you discover this gem with no agenda, and then marvels in the pillars of creation when your eyes are looking up to me, I bend. these lines to myself in a hope to recite them to you one day, so lend me your ear, so I can send shivers down your spine. It's funny how I used to pretend you weren't really always on my mind when really you climbed to the summit of my interest again and again and again and again and again. Darling, you send me to sound good tunes, and in time transcends. I look at my watch, it's already 10:15. I hear a knock and I open it and I just feel this saying, you're arriving hot like cayenne pepper. I know cayenne pepper's not hot, but allow me for that rhyme. Cayenne pepper. And the smile on our faces make these moments better. Our bodies magnetize and blend together. God attends and says, amen forever, amen forever, amen forever. Thank you. I mean, you can tell why she doesn't like it. That's why she was just like, you gonna do that poem tonight? Yeah, I'm not coming. Yeah. But the thing is I think like love is one of the most interesting things. I mean, love can conquer all, but I think great love comes from challenging your own insecurities fundamentally, because you don't want to like throw your insecurities towards someone else without dealing with that properly. I mean, like, I'm confident now that it took like, trust me, you see my first performance, I'll mention it later, it was terrible. And for me, my main confidence came down with my teeth. When I was younger, like, I know the British stereotype, like we have terrible teeth, but I had fucking terrible teeth. Would barely smile as a kid. I had to have like 10 years of work done on my teeth, and I felt very insecure, and I realized the certain aspects of my own insecurities just led to a lot of like self-hatred. So this piece, it's almost like a warning in terms of what I see in terms of masculinity, in terms of how we can drill into this negative emotion. So this is a deeper piece. This is called Shark Teeth. Some of you may relate, some of you may not relate. Growing up, I used to have teeth like a shark. I would barely smile, fearing the remarks in secondary school, where I used to be called fuck ugly. So ugly. It was no wonder my entire family didn't even want me. Yeah, almost on hard. See, I was along like Tarzan. In the jungle, your mind would rumble when you're emotionally starved. And you see, being parentless, how would I describe it? It's like learning how to swim with punctured armbands. Attempting to lift the weight of this adult world with these glass hands. I couldn't stand up for myself, as I was made from Samuel L. Jackson's bones. Left to atone at another foster home with these sins I've inherited. I learned in this hateful prerogative, using anger as a sedative. Redness overexposes the negative. Now I have cellular nightmares I may turn out like some of my relatives. And if the world's gonna reject me, then fuck me. This hate, I might as well embed this shit. Then relish the food when I throw a table at a teacher and say, catch. All because our son and I wants to eat towards his soul patch. See, I was always held back at lessons. Smart ass asking difficult questions, detained in detention when quite frankly, all I wanted was some extra attention. Thinking these teachers were here to entertain me, but at home I had PTSD visions of Guernica, destroying every single household furniture. And the pot boils over to the playground and the glass shatters. But for me, it doesn't make a sound when my fist goes straight through a window. And a crimson waterfall is created from the back of another kid's skull. Because anger unleashed and with no control leaves you feeling with this dread after every single blow. And resuming the decline to the lowest of lows, resuming the decline to the lowest of lows. Because all I wanted to do was just crack a joke and smile, but it's been a while since I did. The last time I did Day Winston, I still haven't been able to smile since. All I wanted to do was crack a joke and smile, but it's been a while since I did. The last time I did Day Winston, I still haven't been able to smile since. Thank you. Yeah, it's a deep piece, I know. Yeah, it's deep. But I think like getting all of these insecurities out, and then therapy fucking helped a lot. And then realizing that, you know, it is, sometimes I feel like you have to address it in the right way. But I'm just gonna get a vibe check from everyone. How's everyone doing? Yeah. I mean, how long have we got? 4 minutes. Perfect. Alright. Alright, so this is gonna be my last piece, and this is my favorite piece. There's been quite a lot of first timers coming up here, and I have mad respect for people that come up onto the stage. I always say to all of my friends, at least come up onto the stage once to challenge a lot of your anxiety, a lot of your insecurity, and just get shit off your chest. You know, don't go too deep. Lift people up a little bit. But this piece, I wrote this piece about a woman, and literally it was the first piece I ever wrote where I felt the need to perform it. And I remember when I was performing it, I did it at Rich Mix. Anyone know Rich Mix? Yeah, so if you know about this place, it's like in front of 200 people, the stage is taller than this. And you have to get your names picked out of the hat, and it's just like this most anxiety-driven moment. And I remember they called my name out on the first round, and I did the most natural things. I went straight to the bar, ordered 2 red straps, downed them like I was a fucking fresher at university. And I remember I went up there, didn't even do an introduction, just went, before I actually said it, I just went up to the stage and like this, went, I'm just gonna do this. And then I went straight into it, and just said it as quickly as possible to get it out of my system. So, and it's funny, this poem is the poem that actually changed my life to the point I get to perform on stages. So I feel grateful for that moment of, I feel grateful for this poem. So this poem is called Cassette Tape. She's a cassette tape. When she gets tangled up loose, I get my pencil just to set it straight despite her square, solid frame. One snap with a strip and she kind of goes insane. Rigorously circulating that same section, valid emphasis, novice mentalist, faking a persona, a plutonic pacifist, purposely provoking me to clinch her. And you know what? She's the one that just sucks all the air out. And with nostalgic views, you can resume, both holes get used, and that's without a doubt. Because there were times you were down to the beat, but she doesn't have this capacity to put this moment on repeat, as she's the byproduct of breakable plastic. Has this tendency to bellow hymns on the extreme side of melodramatic. The inclusion of cheese, but she wasn't even climactic, but I recycle with ease because I'm no longer a fanatic. But then I met this curvaceous CD. And with a beam of light, I knew she wanted to see the deep. And more recently, I foreseen the repentant reaction when I had started him, but don't devour the ears of the next of kin. Because in this hour, she's being taken for a spin, the suspense when you wait for her song to begin, and then the bass blends with the goosebumps in my skin, and then the wind. A beat of an intro. Recommitted multiple unethical car, no sense. She gives you this ability to skip to the best part where you cover for the cover of dark. But power as a lifeline scratches her down, distorts the wavelengths of coherent sound. Tormented by her indecisive moments, the music she wrote is no longer profound. So I guess I have to return her to the shelf, because how can I be with someone who's a flawed reflection of myself? And then finally I was introduced to vinyl. An understated essence but a loud arrival. A foreign album that only speaks in analog. I'm searching the white sleeve she came from, but she's missing a prologue. As she wears a labyrinth of scars embedded in the middle. I'm a puff of fish as I feel so large, but yet so little as I watch her turn in rhetorical riddles. And she cripples the ground beneath my feet until I'm flung back into my seat whilst I'm battling itchy feet, and she revolves to evolve. She absolves my need to feel old, and once with 12 dissolves my soul and places me in a wax-made mold, so we both now play music that is both rich and bold. And we can change the RPM so we're in sync together. And display that sound to all those that wish to gather around and embrace the good vibes together. Vibing and struggling towards a happier ever after. Because she's what the cassette aspires to be. As well as the MP3 and the CD, an ornamental display of authentic quality, and in my opinion, what true music should be. Thank you.
People tell you to think outside the box. Start to look beyond all the trending stocks. These dollar signs have got you all bamboozled. You gotta be focused, shrewd like a fox. Don't just go with the flow, that's what dead fish do. Why follow the herd? I'm sure you have a wish to. Build your own success, but just be vigilant. Snakes aren't the only ones that will hiss you. Strive for whatever you're seeking. Close the tap, the pipes are leaking. No fun until the work is done, as weekends are for the weekend. Your actions are judged by your intentions. All of them stem from your sincerity. Before taking that very first step, always think about its severity. The devil works best when your time is idle. Go through your phone, you'll recognize your idol. Break the shackles of unproductivity, or you'll forever remain in that cycle. You'll find peace in places of worship. We see the system call it a warship. If you place reins of fire on your lips, on your life they will have full ownership. There's always a way out. Stop feeling tense. You have got all 5. Work on your 6th sense. Mold your mind to become one of a kind. Start to watch how victory will commence. Maybe it's innate for us to gain power. Don't forget the thorns when grasping the flower. Be thankful for every moment in your life. Happiness, success, and blessings will shower. Everywhere you look, there'll be a Captain Hook. Claim to be innocent, the rest are all crooks. In your attempt to fly like Peter Pan, they'll drag you to a chair, make you read a book. Just plant the seed, don't worry about the tree. Start to build your own stream which leads to the sea. Today you're a bird in a cage with no key. Tomorrow you'll be in the sky, flying free. There's got one, a short one, about men's mental health. I don't think it's spoken that much of. Every day I reflect the reason of neglect. For a man to show his emotions, why is it so incorrect? Most songs played or heard illustrate that liberty is absurd. But what's a maze to a bird? What's a fox to the herd? We all know the motto that health is wealth, but I feel so poor, my heartbeats are sore, searching for my inner thought to free me from this row of wild thoughts in my head, telling me I'm dead from the inside and out. Do I weep, scream, or shout? Please take me away to a place where there's light in the day. Let's become us instead of me and you. I have a heart too. I tear apart too. I know we're more inclined with hate, but I can truly love too.
I go by the name Talie. I just want to say I felt really inspired by all the poems I've heard today. I just want to give a trigger warning. I am going to be speaking about suicide and mental health. So yeah, this is for my sister. Dear sister, you wrote me a letter, I just wanted to reply. But instead I can't because you chose to end your life. I wish I could say this to your face, but you felt you had no choice but to walk away. Don't forget I know you, sis, but I thought I did. You planned this, days, weeks, years. You felt like you wasn't wanting on this earth. I'm sorry you felt like your life wasn't worth living. I'm sorry I was so consumed in my own feelings. I had to deal with my own things. But my plan was for always to come back to each other, and for me to be that big sister you always wanted. I'm angry. I'm angry you couldn't wait 1 more year, sis. I'm better now. I was sorting my head out for us. I wanted to be the one to break the cycle. I wanted to be in your life. I'm sorry I was too late. I'm sorry life got in the way. I'm sorry I made you feel like you wasn't important. I'm sorry you went through it alone. I remember you telling me all you hear are voices. I guess you felt like that was the only way out because I know all your life everybody's just let you down. You just wanted everything to stop, or just to slow down. People say there's always a light in the tunnel, but where? But now all I can feel is emptiness. My head hurts, my heart breaks. I just want this pain to go away. You felt like no one would miss you, but I can assure you I really fucking do. I just want to get a message to you. I just want to hear the words I love you. But what you've got to understand is I wasn't really living and me and you together just wasn't working. I was bringing you down, you was bringing me down, but worst of all, we're bringing each other down. You wrote in your letter, don't blame yourself. But tell me, how can I not? We used to spend hours on the phone, talking, crying, laughing. You didn't feel like your life was worth living, you thought no one would miss you. Let me tell you something, since I found out my heart has been ripped out. I've never felt pain like this before. I don't think you realise how much you were adored by me. I can't lie. No one really has the right to judge why people commit suicide until you feel it firsthand. Because no one knows what goes on in someone's mind. She literally prepped and planned to end her life. I can't explain the feeling that I feel inside. It's like my mind has just gone into overdrive. My head hurts, my body hurts. I can't even explain what's going on in my mind. I question myself. Is there something I've done to save your life? I tried to call up helplines, but why did you always decline? You kept saying no one can fix your life. I tried to be that person to hold your hands, but all you wanted to do was expose your wrist to a knife. No matter how much blood dripped down, you told me you felt nothing, couldn't hear a sound. You closed your eyes and said, I'm ready to die. The problem these days is lack of communication. People hardly sit down properly and talk face to face. So on hit up on WhatsApp, hey, hope everything's okay. When deep down you know it's not, but I mean, how do you respond to that without a never-ending essay? Offloading all your worries and issues, thoughts and feelings. As I said, it's never ending. They won't have time. So that's when it gets all bottled up inside, clouding your mind and overtaking your life. It's that constant noise, just wanting it all to stop, just waiting for silence where you can hear a pin drop. Tears streaming down your face. Please, I can't take this anymore. But hold it then, fight this. You're a king, you're a queen. I promise you, you're not alone. There's someone. Even if you feel alone, don't be afraid to reach out to someone. You can reach out to me if that's what you want. I promise I'll try my best to give you advice so you wake up the next morning not wanting to end your life. Be strong, be brave. Don't be afraid to cry and reach out to someone because they're willing to listen to you without a doubt. It will get better if you just believe. Keep that in your mind and you'll succeed. I'm not saying your life will change every day. Just try your best to take steps every day. Alright, peace, sis.
If you had no intentions of catching me, then why did you watch me fall? Why did you lead me on, knowing I was at my most vulnerable? While I was looking for something serious, all you were looking for was something casual. Yet the way in which you treated me tricked me into believing that our feelings towards one another was mutual. You convinced me that you was different to the rest. So I, far from suspected that my emotions would be put to the test, I trusted you enough to let my guard down. But it didn't take long before you walked in and trampled all over my kingdom. What hurts the most is that you made it look easy. You watched as my heart shattered into 1,000 tiny pieces and never once felt any form of regret. How could you be so heartless? Till this day I question, how could I not see past your deceiving mask? I should have known that you were only using me to satisfy your needs. Should have known that you were only selling me a dream, a make-believe fantasy, whispering sweet nothings into my ear, only to fill my mind with empty promises, with false hopes of you and me. Why? If you were clear on my aim, then why let me take my shot in the first place? I gave you plenty of notice, time and space. I may have taken the lead, but you made the decision to follow. I never begged you to stay. So don't try and make out like I'm the one to blame. You knew what I was like. You could have walked away. Yet you still chose to come into my world only to invade. But this ice doesn't crack. It doesn't break. I'm stubborn, solid, set in my ways. So stop trying to melt me, convincing yourself I'm going to change. I'm a man of my word, always have been. But you've always been the type to struggle to come to grips, refuse to accept reality for what it is. I told you from the beginning, I don't do relationships. You knew I wasn't the type to come running with open arms. So don't be looking for sympathy on some victim tip now that you're in too deep. Why are you making it sound like I was an unwanted guest? You invited me in. You knew that opening your doors came with a risk. The second you let your guard down, you exposed yourself to heartbreak and pain. And now look at you. You're the first to complain. You can't force me to feel if I only know how to lust. You can't fix something that's not broken. Adjust the heart that's not built to love. So why try? Why have false hopes of you and me when I know you'll get bored and find someone new eventually? You know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe I should stop wasting my time, but instead move on and find someone else that will reciprocate the right kind of energy. After all, there are plenty of other fish in the sea. Thank you.
So yeah, today's been really spontaneous. This is my first time, so yeah. It's called Strangers. So just gonna start. Isn't it crazy how we can invest into someone so much to turn into strangers? From looking into each other's souls, access to explore the depths of our mind, body and soul, for the explorer to turn into an intruder, a foreigner, a stranger. How does that sit right with one? You know my secrets, my thoughts, to my favourite shows. I guess that's life, right? I guess it wasn't meant to be our reality. I guess we're back to where it all started. This time, strangers with memories.
So I've got a question for you guys. What does love mean to you? Just shout out some things. Don't be shy. What does love mean to you? Safety. Compassion. Everything. Service. Acceptance. Stability.
Growth.
Appreciation. Growth. All right. Progression. Connection. Passion. All right. You guys give me so much. But I asked people, what does love mean to you? And I got all of their answers and I turned it into this very poem. So the first person I spoke to, he said to me, you don't trust something if you test it. But if I had to test you, I'd grab a test tube and...
I love this poem.
See, that's already chemistry. I just think the bond between me and you is like physics and the sun. See, you're a star and I watch you rise every day. You rise every day without me asking you to. Look, I watch you rise. It's the Most High that's guiding you. You are beyond the star, you're a supernova, and I want to reach my highest form with you. Less. Planet 2, your energy celestial. The bond between me and you is electrical, and I'm currently flowing with your energy. God's in charge, so we use his input. Less flip things, cause you've been put in the circuit. The way I feel about you only touches the surface. But I wanna love you deeply, like the sea, beyond measure. In your mind I'll endeavor, I want to love you deeply, like that Calvin Harris and the Disciples song. How deep is your love? Is it like the ocean? You don't have to answer because most people won't even get it. I reckon the force between me and you is like a magnetic field. I'm in a battlefield between Jin and hierarchy in a game of Tekken. Look, I reckon that I don't post you because love isn't boastful. I don't need to put you on my socials. I'm a hopeless romantic that's more so hopeful to finding the love that I felt like the first time I fell and broke my toe.
See, it was a sports day, three-legged race. It was 2012 too. I'm 21 still, thinking of you. See that fall? It reminds me of how hard I fell for you. It was the first time I fell. And I actually kind of liked it. Because falling isn't always a bad thing. See, falling in love with you is like falling asleep. The only difference is I don't want to wake up knowing that this was just a dream. See, I'm not a part of the romantic scene. You see, with me, there's a higher calling. And the upgrade isn't just physically, it's also mentally and spiritually. You won't ever have to settle down with me. You're only gonna level up. We won't see errors in the foundation, and I ain't even talking about makeup. I'm gonna need a love that touches me. My love for you needs to be from a biological place, a biological state. Let's call this love biological fate. My love for you is coiled into my DNA, my fingertips. So we don't even have to kiss because we'll always be in touch. Not through ourselves, but through ourselves. Let's find ourselves. But if I disappear into the world, it's guaranteed that you'll be able to find me. See, I'm not quite wifey, but I know that there's a connection. There's so many signals on this earth, there's signs. It has nothing to do with the stars, but our paths are aligned. I guess it's written in the stars with letters this time we cross, and I know exactly why. We consoling each other, we play games like it's W-I-I, and I just found out that Nintendo in Japanese means leave luck to heaven. But if I get a chance this time, there'll be no second guessing. Heaven sending a bodily form of a blessing. And as I said at the start with love, there's no testing. I want loving you to be the thing that I'm the best in. I don't want love to be the thing that we stay left in, that's right. I guess it all has to do with time. And if you ask me what love means to me, I think the closest thing to love is infinity. So I'll love you like numbers, infinitely. As long as you keep it 100%. Don't keep it 50 with me. Don't love me like cake. Love me like pie, 3.142. It goes on and on like my love for you. It goes on and on like you're gonna be a song, you're 1 in a million, and my love it goes. But since they say fairy tales are the only things that have happy endings, I'm gonna need you to be a part of my story. But if this doesn't work out, I've already said that I'm gonna love you like numbers. So the love will still go on forever and ever. I'll just keep a bookmark to mark the page where we left off. So this love story, it did not ever stop. Thank you so much, guys.
So I'm here today because I had a problem with alcohol for almost 15 years of my life, and that's almost half of my life. I'm actually 4 months sober today. Thank you. And the reason I asked you to do that with me was because no matter how much it destroyed my life and it took me away from my authentic self, I didn't stop. And I think the biggest reason and the hardest part about it was because I couldn't admit it. I couldn't say it out loud because I thought it made me weak. Today, I understand what self-love is. I understand what strength is. And most importantly, giving up alcohol for me gave me back my creativity. It gave me the ability to... It gave me the ability to express myself,
Poetry and writing is my therapy. It's how I connect with others, and it's how I'm able to talk about things that matter to me and that touch my heart. So without further ado, I've written a poem, and it's a very sensitive subject. I went to an exhibition the other day in London, and it made me angry, and it caused me pain. The subject has been very close to my heart. It happened almost 6 years ago in London. It affects humanity, and it disrespects it, if I'm quite honest. So this poem is about that. So I hope I think it will touch some nerves, but here goes. It's called An Army from the Dust. It was 12:50 in the morning on the 17th of June. Humans, just like you and me, dreams undreamt, life's gone too soon. 295 at home that night, only 223 escaped the blaze. It took only 25 minutes, because of the cladding, to become a 24-story grave. 2 inquiries and almost 6 years on, not one thing's been done. 72 lives in numbers, but accountability, none. Unanswered calls and emails, valid fears ignored. Concerned tenants labelled fantasists, you locked them up and shut the door. Do you know how many high-rise blocks still have that cladding? 486. These are the people we hold in power. That's what you call corrupt politics. They said, stay inside, stay put, remain inside. You were meant to catch us when we fall. But when Gran fell, you sat still, so in our hearts we built a wall. They said, stay put, remain inside. You were meant to catch us when we fall. But when Gran fell, you sat still, so in our hearts we built a wall. This one's to our leaders. Responsibility, where? Betrayed by your lack of action, your true colours laid out bare. Where are their answers, their justice? People you were meant to protect. Children, families, loved ones, abandoned, forgotten, neglect. Dreams went up in flames that night, and you talk of compensation? Please, tell me the appropriate price tag for the tragedy of a nation. The material of the cladding worked as fuel. They were warned but made no plans. They say it was more flammable than a match in petrol. There's blood on someone's hands. To save on costs, cut corners. The price, a boy of 5. A wound too deep that will never heal. Your corners cut short his life. No chance for last goodbyes. Your greed and lies caused their demise. The dark parts of these mental pictures I can't compartmentalize. Now they want to demolish the tower. Concern for the public, it poses a risk. If they knock it down, they take their victims past. The pain for their loss, dismissed. I didn't know them personally, but they were him and you and us. So we speak their truth of injustice and fight their fight we must. Communities united in teardrops. We could fill oceans just with blame. Our vessels must pump together now. Same heart, same eyes, same pain. I see them in my mother's face. I see them in the eyes of your son. They betrayed every shred of humanity. They failed us all as one. But their negligence and lack of care, ignite the biggest flames in us. We must use our voice, this stage, our words, and build an army from the dust. Thank you.
Well, you know about going to gym, consistent skincare, income good, but mind ain't right. Tired all day, try close your eyes, but still can't sleep at night. Put in a tough persona, don't wanna shed no tear in your mental compromise on the journey. Work on my trauma, hurting the ones who try to do everything right, including I. Hurt people, PTSD be triggering, dark cloud lingering, actions caused by childhood memories underlined. Been through heights you ain't used to, struggle and pain I was used to. Then you do wrong, not meaning to hurt you, once while by your side, please hold them tight. Let me tell you what's on my mind, on my grind. Know I got real ones by my side, and I know I showed you my time was for us to lose someone or watch them drift apart. There's more, forgot what it's, hold on one second. Please hold them tight. Let me tell you what's on my mind, on my grind. Know I got real ones by my side, and a few I give my time was for us to lose someone or have them drift apart. I'm done with liquor, trying to heal my heart. There's less people than stars, yeah. Ever been so deep in your bag you forget to be human? Less time for the people who care. Watching steps you be moving deep down, the fear of not improving. Heart on the side, can't see Cupid. Where on your pride till you dream lucid? Devil in champagne glass, who you fooling? Let me paint you the picture and sit. Creating my platform, Kage in colours. Top of my left hand, brushing my right. Paint on the canvas, rain full of stanzas. Perfect storm of that poetry set. After the rain and thunder, sun came after. Either know you try or die and regret. Always told you I loved her first. Heartbreak hurts so good. Bleeding the pain all over this letter. See, I was so used to texting good morning, good night that I nearly text her. Sorry I failed as a partner. Always came to my open max till I had my first headline. Promise I'll make you proud, even if you ain't by my side. Let me tell you what's on my mind, on my grind. Know I got real ones by my side, and for you I give my time was worse to lose someone or have them drift apart. I'm done with liquor, trying to heal my heart. There's less people than stars, yeah. See. Do I have a bit of time, like 2 minutes?
Give me a short one, bro. Give us a short one.
I've got a track that was filmed online on my YouTube channel, filmed by Metaphorest. I'm starting to see my fans brought to the cinema.
Metaphorest is here, by the way.
This is Metaphorest, by the way. Featuring Nomadic Libaax, feature starring in the side Nomadic Libaax, Leroy Speaks, and some dope people. You need to watch it. But yeah, this is my story, routine story, part 1.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Don't judge a book by its cover, that's what these people say. Welcome to reality where people do it anyway. Human beings always wanted what we couldn't have, to realize that we lost what was in our hands. I grew up, I screw up before I flipped the Z. Lack of confidence was irrelevant, shit was getting tenser. My environment surrounded by violence. Raising Dagenham wasn't loved by this chick from our ends. I saw a path none of all my peers could ever see. This is my therapy, knowing she won't remember me. I visualize one day we have a happy ever after. Holes around the city, all the flowers getting gardens. I told my boys, but they couldn't see the picture. You can't cheat architect just to paint the perfect picture. One day we bumped into each other near my drum. I take a bullet for her when my friends are moving as the gun. So we walked around the block and tried to know her better. The type to judge me for my character, I'll never let her. She kept it real, said her guy always abused her and her father wasn't there, so we related, therefore right together. I'm hoping, can I take this girl from this guy? What makes you think the same will happen to you? Devil is a lie. You can't mix the vision for the M's with the fish in the ocean. Mix them up, you be drowning in emotions. And at times you speaking, confidence was peaking. Never left me alone as she emotionally deepened. But I be going deeper, we eventually sleeping in the same bed. I noticed that I'm missing calls from my friends. I messages about where the music at you, we support you. But same time I'm so distracted in a passion fruit. The same guys who told me that she ain't the one. I take a bullet for her when my friends are moving as they've gone. So I see a private message saying that I'm wanted. I smirked it off and kept them moving, I ain't running. Finally returned the call to friends to say what's new. They told me something that I really hope is not the truth. I hit her up to find out if it's serious, like an unfinished sentence. I heard you missed your period. Why am I stressing over what could be a blessing? Did I learn my lesson? Grown too quick into adolescence. She told me link her in the house as I'm by the door. I hear a voice behind me saying, did you hear that the hood don't love you? I said, who are you? He said, that's my girl, and that you don't belong to you. Should I be egotistic? My mind is telling me to say I lied up your chick. My mouth is saying, really is it? In my mind I'm thinking, will I be the next statistic? Either I be dead or pull the key out and be in prison. I stood my ground outside and trying to look tough, but deep inside I'm panicking. Am I about to get rushed? Should I follow in my guts or see my guts in my gloves? Cause how can I believe in love and it be hard to build trust? So I see him standing with two men. What happened next? I'ma leave that for part 2, cause this story is true. Love hurts, but lust is painless. You give your word, then one day you're strangers. When I thought it's time to be the man, I faced my fears not gone. I was blinded by the physical, not evil they become. I should have listened to my friends when they said she wanted the one. I took a bullet for her, just to realize she was the gun. What was the next line? Realize that she was the gun. Believe in love, moving hard to the trust. What happened next? I'ma leave that for part 2, cause this story is true. Love hurts, but lust is painless. You give your word, then one day you're strangers. When I thought it's time to be the man of physical, I was blinded by the physical, not evil they become. I should have listened to my friends when they said she wanted one. I took a bullet for her just to realize she was the gun. What's your reaction? Hold your heart, words show passion. It's out of fashion to not wear your heart on your sleeve. If love is in the air, do you really wanna breathe? Or are you down to fight for the twists and the turns? Nothing to hide, but the bridges will burn. We just want something real, so grab the wheel. Put down my pride and live and learn. Pretty simple, thank you.
So Dude, yeah, So Fire is the name they gave me. My name is Safiyah.
It's so funny
I did that, and so now I think I might even keep that. But even my Instagram handle is too much for you guys to handle. I'm not gonna It's really long, it's in Somali, and everyone's like, what's your handle? I'm like, I can't bother to say it, man. So I might change it to So Fire, it's a bit easier. This piece is newish. I actually did kind of experiment with it at BYOB Croydon, but respectfully. But I'm gonna try again because I've really been working on it. And the thing with me is, it's always my anxiety, and I'm telling myself, you know what, like, it's not that you don't know your own words. It's like every time I take my phone up for me, I'm telling myself I don't trust myself in my words. So yeah, this is me trying to counter that. So if I forget my words, whatever, I'm trying to just, tell myself I can trust myself up here.
So fire! You got it. So fire!
Used to be laughably insecure about your own poems. You doubted your words' worth as if your words weren't worth being heard in his grave, and your words' worth would have been singing your praise.
That's just a fraction. Bring it back.
You used to be laughably insecure about your own poems. You doubted your words' worth as if your words weren't worth being heard in his grave, and your words' worth would have been singing your praise. How your words were these epics belting out of an elfin girl in an enormous world. That you spoke of troubled pleasures because you took pleasure in turning your troubles into letters. How you checkmate your woes in an emotional game of checkers. But alas, I know back then I didn't check myself, instead I wrecked myself. Indeed you did. In fact, you convinced yourself your words were absurd, even deleted your best works before they had a chance to be heard. Yes, sometimes the pain is mightier than the pen, but your pain wielded you to utter silence, leaving your vocal cords on red, counting all the things you should have said, leaving your tongue with this irritating itch that if you'd known your worth back then, by now you could have been rich. Sure modesty over gluttony, simple earning over abundance of money, but honey, it's time to account for your amount. You've been sharing your fountain of knowledge on discount, remaining silent at your own expense. Intellectual bankruptcy became the consequence. It's time you knew the stake of your own words and invest in your equities, and maybe one day your verbal currency will leave a rich man feeling broke just hearing you speak. One day indeed. But for now at school, I think I'm starting to reach some sort of peak, like realizations turned emancipation. So you know what? Bun is senseless self-suppression, roll up a joint out of my letters and get poetically high. Medicinal, herbal, equilibrium injected. We know how draining diarrhea can be, especially the verbal kind. She.
So fire.
We know how draining diarrhea can be, especially the verbal kind. She. I should have realized something in my reluctance. That resistance communicates existence, but this is a diatribe to my afflictions. Time to develop an addiction to my addiction, which sometimes be airy, potential to be legendary, except when the air is thick. That's when the verses get a little murky, but it's okay, cause not all waters are clear. And I can't stay clear from tribulations, but when I approach the waters that are crystal, I see my journey in ripples, ripples of reflection that reflect introspection and realize recognition that I've really grown. Not literally, obviously. But mentally, most definitely, most deaf would be proud and tell me that my ink's so hot it burns through the journal. Spiritually and lyrically looking to be eternal. Mind the smoke and please take some notes, cause like Kwali, my language universal, they'll be reciting my thoughts. I said my language universal, they'll be reciting my thoughts. And there'll be no thief of my light come day or night. Or me too says the world's mine if I let my word shine. Don't tone yourself down, she says shine. Don't dim the light of your voice, shine. We're like-minded, baby girl, let our voices intertwine. Boy. I see now that this is your chance to also be heard, so you too can shine. That me being mute is like me taking a part of your vocal light. How about this, Hoyo? You be my moon, I'll be your stars. We'll write sonnets for the worlds. Our journal can be our palms, illuminating this darkness of this earth with a holistic, healing, holy bars. Now I really see that speaking is spiritual respiration, a sensation of elation. So I'm commencing the migration of my narration until it reaches every damn nation. Even the damn nations need redemption to escape eternal damnation. So I'll liberate my tongue until its melodies become humankind's freedom song sung. But first, I will bask in my words as if it really is the sun. Shine like Hoya said, no more being on the run. Remove from the temple the stupid loaded guns. Yeah, I'm more than my doubts. I'm gonna let this be undone. And if the pen is mightier than the sword, well then my mind is the fluid bladesmith forging the ink. And since meeting all you wordsmiths, I'm done with what ifs and ready for what is.
Pull that one back, please. That was
getting free wheel ups tonight.
And if the pen is mightier than the sword, well then my mind is the fluid bladesmith forging the ink. And since meeting all you wordsmiths, I'm done with what ifs and ready for what is. So I'll slice through the sonorous silence with my teeth, brandish all my pens, ready for battles, rap or otherwise, for freedom can be found with speech, release lies. And since silence is compliance, well then, a Somali biting her tongue is downright criminal. I'll be damned if I let myself stay invisible. My ability to speak is my right and also traditional. My saliva is my oral ink, and so I'll spit it into my words, become immortal. Someone would take this for arrogance, but really it's overdue due diligence to use my God-given intelligence. So I will speak, I will scream, I will shout, I will write, recite, rewrite, and pour it all out. Thank you.
It's titled, I'm Going Through It. An everlasting whirlpool of thoughts running through my veins, downshifting through my pain into my abdominal guilt. Guilty pleasures of lust, greed, and selfishness got me here. How cold the body grows from a light that was once a temple. So cold that it freezes up to then melt through the eyelids of justice. Justice that screams, free me, free me. Bound to our own chains of thought. Stuck in a land that was never chosen, and yet here I stand, withered and broke. That's the first one. Very short. Thank you. Last one, another short one as well. A cloud full of thought like fog in the winter sun. A thought that has no place to stay. Like a fox lost in a gentrified town he once knew, now left to wander astray. Our eyes, mouth and ears, correlating with where the mind takes us. Traversing the mist of fear, a distant sound from the heart and gut, halts and solidifies the vision. Thank you.
People don't usually believe me when I say I like my space. But the outside world I just can't bear to face because I'm always masked on. I don't want anyone to see when I'm gone, so I put on a new mask, hoping this one will last, hoping no one can see through, and hoping I won't catch any more bad vibes from you, but alas, I do. I'm not feeling like myself. And it's not that I'm sick, but I feel sick of feeling sick because I'm not feeling like myself, and then I am sick. And I don't know what I need, so I distance me from you, hoping a little space will do. I don't want to spread my bad mood, so I drown my sorrows in anything strong. You think it's just me being me, but you couldn't be more wrong. I'm sick, you see. Space couldn't give me what a Mars bar could, but space also couldn't fill the space I have when eating is just no good, and
That was silently brilliant. Wow.
Space couldn't give me what a Mars bar could, but space also couldn't fill the space I have when eating is just no good, and the space that I fly in to find where I am lacks is one small step for mankind and 10 spaces back. My shopping habit, it's just that, an addiction. But I like that it gives me a peaceful depiction, makes the world seem a little brighter and reduces the friction. But the illusion of space and feeling okay is clearly just fiction. An ellipsis is too long, and I haven't come to a full stop. The space I need is like the ones between two words, so a paragraph doesn't look like a whole block. My story is continuing, so a comma is just too slow. I'll do with a simple click and clack between two words to make them flow. I kind of need a break, you know, to take a breath, if you know what I mean. The world around me spins faster and I need to move at the same speed, like the breath you take when you suddenly wake up, as if you've just been birthed. I want time to slow like gravity in space when a rocket enters from Earth. So I'm sorry I need space. I need to regroup with myself. It's not you, it's me, and it's about my mental health. Thank you guys so much.
How many hearts are you gonna break today? How many souls are you gonna take today? Are you an angel? You are an angel. Where did you put your wings? Where are you hiding them? I would ask you to dinner. I don't know if angels eat. How about coffee or happy hour? I don't think angels drink. I would be a liar if I didn't tell you your eyes are like what a choir sounds like. Your smile is a blessing at the Last Supper, warm, lasting, and serious. Your essence is ethereal. Your silhouette is starlight, your voice is sunrise. I'm here on authority from the authorities to report you and bring you in for questioning by the authorities for being an actual angel. Give me your number. Send me a message. My celestial contact. I can't know your name, you're amused, you're moving, I'm inspired. I feel like a visionary having a vision, seeing a vision. You're an out-of-body experience. I'm in the experience. You are the rib. Are you the rib? I'm missing. We just met. I already miss you. I miss you already. Hey there. All love. People do a lot of loving. Love is in the air. Love is in your eyes. People love music on the radio. People love TV shows about people finding love. People love shopping and sales and funny movies about people falling in love. People love their professions, their communities, their culture, and their country. People love to belong. People love parties and laughing and dancing and good company. People love that chicken.
and their cars and their pets and pizza and the beach and attention. People love good customer service and information and honesty and dependability and consistency and attention to detail. People love to play games and watch other people play games.
Yeah.
People love dramas and suspense. People love their mamas. People love a good story. People love to see the leaves change colors. People love to play in the snow. People love to bask in the sun. People love to dance in the rain. People love a clear night sky. People love stars. People love a good challenge. People love to be right. People love a good fight. And people love roller coasters. People love coffee and guns and technology and heroes. People love confidence and security and respect and regard and cakes and brownies and cookies and candies and steaks and ice cream. People love to talk. People love to be listened to. People love to be loved. People, it's all love.
The Mad Hatter is envious of the parties I throw. He is not aware that I am held hostage in this non-stop club of continuous noise and round-the-clock dancing. Anger, insecurity, and self-loathing. Someone thought fun to extend the invite to. Politeness tells me that to kick him out will be rude. And so I find myself dancing with suicide at 4 a.m. as impulsivity arrives with a lifetime supply of alcohol, arguing with self-harm about the best way to get fucked up. I am drunk on sleepless nights. While my body cries for sleep, sober with somber while depression manically laughs. To the sound of the entrance music, the ringmaster has taken position. The audience waits in anticipation. The BPD circus is about to begin. Welcome to the fucking party. I am sleep deprived. No, I can't eat. I am sleep deprived and I can't eat. I am sleep deprived and I can't eat. I am angry and then I weep and it's bullshit because the whole thing is just stuck on fucking repeat. Do not ask questions as to why I cannot look into your eyes, for they say that the eyes are the pathway to your soul, and that's where all of my anxieties go. Its hands around my throat, I can't intake any more oxygen. It's forcing me to remain sitting, climbing on top of me, chaining me down like a heavyweight, sucking all of the energy from my being, keeping me hostage and refusing to let me go. Every second is a constant battle. I am lethargic and weak, and there's nothing in this world that could force me to sleep, and I'd pop a pill, but what if I don't wake? You see, that's when the thoughts kick in, oh, for fuck's sake. Because she doesn't want to be your friend anymore. She doesn't like the look of your top. Maybe you do look like a little bit of a whore, and does he really love you? Or is that just what he's saying? Oh, come on, it's you, take a look at yourself. Of course, he's just playing. So maybe it's best you leave them before they leave you, because if you're honest with yourself, they're just gonna fuck you over too. I am an emotional wreck, and no, anxiety is not negotiable. My friends and family, well, they are adamant that I am lazy and unsociable. I don't decide when and where it is I want to go. I just know that today I can leave my house and escape my mind and go back to being happy before the time arrives and I'm back to being in a constant state of panic. Because that's when the eating habits kick in and I begin to lose weight, for I retch until all I'm producing is bile, and a week or two later I can't stop eating, and this weight it begins to pile. Now I am not asking for attention or begging to be seen. I am crying for help, kind of like a silent scream, you see. I cannot tell you what is going on or what it is that I'm thinking, because then I'll get the looks and mean comments, and that's when my depression sinks in. You see, I am stuck in this mess and it is a big fucking catastrophe because I am not asking for much. I am just begging to be set free. Oh man. I just want to be me again. Without the anxiety. Sometimes I have to force myself to go out. So when you see me out, just know that I have had a breakthrough. Today I beat anxiety, and I hope that you did too. Now, I don't know if I'll beat it tomorrow, but I'm praying that we all do. Thank you.
My name is Natalie France, and I'm going to perform a piece called Ready or Not by P4CM. Dear Heavenly Father, I'm trying to remember why I was created, or at least that's what I'd like you to think. Because amnesia sounds a lot better than just plain ignorance. Well, even ignorance is defined as a lack of knowledge. See, I'm just faking it. Pretending as if I don't know when really I do. I felt less than what my designer thought was best, so I suppressed to his supernaturally intended me to be. No lie, I got relaxed. Then I combined by weaving in a little bit of his will with a whole lot of mine. So how do I look? Because I think I look good. I have time to change or fix any minor things I may lack. It's not like he's coming back tomorrow. Seriously, how long have we heard? These are the last days. It's the same old song. Is it me? Or do these last days seem to be lasting kind of long? I know I'm not perfect. I've had so many I couldn't count my falls Niagara. Rather than responding to his call, I'd rather schedule him Viagra. Whatever is wrong, I know that he can heal. But I want the kettle on 1,000 hills with the ability to still grab the wheel while grasping onto my own wheel like Jacob to Esau's heel. My love is based, and his love is based on how I feel. He loves me. He loves me not. Like pulling petals off the flowers. Yes, he's coming back, but no man wants the day or the hour. See, I just wanted a sample. But I repeat sin like looping 8 bars. And on my own tempo, I begin to embark. Instead of following your instrumentation, I drowned out your heartbeat of timpani. Ignore the woodwinds of your spirit. If your trumpet were to sound, I wouldn't hear it, or even the brass ring. Cause I've laid tracks upon tracks of acapella so I can hear myself sing. Majoring in minor has left me scratched like broken records, causing my life to stutter. I'm a false instructor pretending as if I'm watching the conductor. I'm too unlawful to be a wedded wife, and I'll probably never recover. Sincerely, yours truly, waiting to be saved. Thank you.